right now on 5 on your side at 10.
We start tonight in a weather alert. Another burst of snow and a blast of Arctic air are moving into the St. Louis region right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The snow is already falling out in St. Charles County, but it hasn't yet reached downtown St. Louis. Our storm tracker is out on the roads, but first, let's get straight over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
Well, we are in our weather alert tonight, Mike, because we're dealing with this area of snow coming in, but it's not just that. This isn't going to be a big snowstorm for St. Louis. It's the gusty winds and the cold coming after this snow that will bring those wind chills down tomorrow morning and make it incredibly cold again west of St. Louis and north of St. Louis, and that's going to spread in across the metro area. Speaking of spreading in across the metro area, here's your snow working in from the west now, and as you head out on Page Avenue Extension 364 heading out to Highway 4064 in Dart Prairie, you're picking up the snow right now coming down in Wentzville, O'Fallon, working farther north as well. Reports out of Staunton with the snow coming down. You're seeing it up in Hardin, Illinois. You're seeing it in Bowling Green, Eolia, Troy, and in those areas north and west, temperatures have gone just below freezing. The rest of us are going to get there pretty quickly. That's a live look at Main Street in St. Charles. There are a few snowflakes flying there now, but it's really just starting. It's only going to last for about 3 to 5 hours at most, which means a dusting to maybe an inch of snow, not a big accumulation, but temperatures are going to tumble. They'll be dropping back into the teens here as we go through the overnight hours, along with those gusty winds. So whatever snow's out there may get whipped around a bit. And then tomorrow morning, north and west of St. Louis, wind chill advisories will be in effect. Wind chills over the next couple of days from 5 below to 25 below. We expand that wind chill advisory across the entire area for tomorrow night into Saturday morning, and that includes St. Louis. We'll talk about changes for next week in just a bit.
And remember, you can get the latest Weather First forecast right on your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. It's another battle with snow and frigid temperatures for road crews on both sides of the river.
Here is a live look. This is Interstate 70 in Wentzville, where the snow just started following within the hour, and you can see how snowy and windy it is. Let's check in with 5 on your side, Laura Barcheski and photojournalist Don Galloway. They're out in the elements in the Weather First storm tracker. What's the latest out there?
Mike and Kelly, we are seeing some pretty big snowflakes falling here. We just crossed into Lake St. Louis, left Wentzville just a few minutes ago. Let me turn around the camera here. You can see visibility has already kind of come down as we see these flakes get a little bit heavier. And MoDOT says they're really concerned about the return of the bitter cold temperatures tonight. And they have crews ready to hit the road and continue treating throughout the evening into the morning hours. The Highway Patrol will also have 24-hour coverage of all major highways. And over in Illinois, I talked with District 8 engineer Joe Monroe from IDOT earlier this afternoon. He says they sent a lot of their overnight crews home early to get some rest, as they anticipate having to treat some of the roads as soon as the snow starts to stick on the other side of the river. Monroe says drivers could see plows hovering close to the ground using the tunnel of air to blow the snow off the road, but they'll mainly be using chemicals tonight to clear the roads.
So we're going to be very aggressive with the chemical we use. So you'll actually see us using what we call hot brine or straight calcium chloride to pre-wet the rock salt. So don't be surprised if you see moisture coming off the salt when it's coming out of the truck. That's by design. We had a couple people kind of freak out about it and call in and ask.
Be sure you give those salt and plow trucks plenty of room and don't pass them unless absolutely necessary. Monroe says they're actually more concerned about the morning rush hours because of that temperature and slick spots that could form overnight. So be careful. Make sure you check MoDOT and IDOT websites before you head out tomorrow morning, and be safe out there. Reporting live from the storm tracker, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And the Today in St. Louis team will have the latest forecast and road conditions. That all starts at 4 a.m. You can watch on air or stream all of our newscast on 5+. It's free to download on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. Just search for KSDK in the App Store.
Now to that developing situation where all-day police have surrounded a vacant home in unincorporated North St. Louis County. Investigators say the suspect shot a man, and right now the standoff on Cameron Road is still going on. Our Robert Townsend has been there all night and joins us now with the latest. Robert.
Hey there, Mike. You know, the standoff had been going on for nearly 8 hours, but about 20 minutes ago, More than a half dozen SWAT team members stormed inside the house where they say the suspect was holed up. Those St. Louis County tactical members had their guns drawn and went inside that house with shields. Right now, we are still waiting for the official word to come down from a St. Louis County police spokesperson. Foremost, did they find the suspect? Did he surrender, and is he now in custody? Earlier tonight, let me tell you, nervous neighbors had plenty to say about the hours-long standoff. The 400 block of Cameron Road between Riverview and Glasgow Village suddenly became a police scene. More than a dozen St. Louis County police officers, SWAT team members armed with guns, shields, and canines moved in and surrounded this vacant house. Inside, one man wanted for allegedly shooting another man.
Yeah, it's pretty common around here.
It seems like a movie to me.
It wasn't a mid-afternoon movie, but a real intense drama that played out just doors away from Frank James's home.
I was actually kind of shocked to see that many police on this block, you know, like that, having a standoff.
Investigators say just before 2 Thursday afternoon, officers from the North County precinct first went to this area to check out a shooting. They found a man suffering from life-threatening gunshot wounds. He was taken to a hospital. Police say the male suspect barricaded himself inside this single-story black and white house.
You need to do this now.
Police repeatedly got on a bullhorn and tried to convince the guy to surrender.
You need to exit the residence immediately through the front door with your hands in the air, nothing in your hands.
But for hours, he refused.
Well, it makes me nervous a little bit, you know, because I like to go for my walks.
The community needs to learn how to come together.
Neighbor Deanna Hentz says gun violence has been an ongoing problem in this community.
High schoolers that carry guns, and there's been multiple incidents where there's been group fights and there's a bunch of kids running around with guns, and just it's becoming a mess.
And back here live, we still have not seen police come out of that house with anyone. So at this point, we still don't know if they arrested the suspect or, in fact, was the man still inside that vacant house. I can't tell you this. We did see a white car in the driveway riddled with several bullet holes. As soon as we get the very latest, we, of course, will post it on KSDK.com. Live in North St. Louis County, I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
I know you will keep us posted, Robert. And just hours ago, St. Louis firefighters recovered a body from the rubble of a North City home destroyed by fire. The family of 18-year-old Chandler Hill says he was trapped inside their burning home on Athlone on Monday. The search for his body was hindered by this week's extreme cold. Firefighters say a drone located his remains near the back of the four-family flat.
It's tough. It's obviously heartbreaking for the family. And hopefully there was some small measure of comfort and closure. Some of the firefighters that were here fighting the fire on Monday were actually working today. So, you know, I got to talk to them and several phone calls were made. Because closure is important on our end as well.
We're still investigating what caused the fire. Hill's grandmother was able to escape. We have a link to a GoFundMe page for the family on KSDK.com.
A driver is dead after hitting a pedestrian and crashing into a yard in North St. Louis County. The crash happened around 4 this afternoon near the intersection of Larimore and Barron. Police say the driver of a Jeep suffered a medical emergency. The pedestrian suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly crash near Soulard. A semi and a car collided near 2nd and Sydney Streets this afternoon. 2 people were taken to the hospital. 1 of them died. New tonight, a bailiff shortage has gotten so bad at the St. Louis Courthouse, judges are now threatening to hire a private security company to keep them safe.
For months, tension has been brewing between the judges and the sheriff's department. Christine Byers attended a meeting where tempers flared and a compromise may have been reached.
There are some things that the judges and St. Louis City Sheriff Vernon Betts agree on right now. There aren't enough deputies and their pay is terrible. But the judges say that's no excuse for the sheriff to leave their courtrooms unguarded.
Judges in the 22nd Judicial Circuit are on the brink of hiring their own private bailiffs, according to emails obtained by the I-Team. Doing so would, quote, alleviate our ongoing concerns regarding safety, not only for the public coming into the courts, but also for those that work in the courts and courtrooms daily, wrote presiding Judge Elizabeth Hogan in December. Judge David Mason was among several judges who attended a meeting Thursday in which Sheriff Betts pledged to keep courtrooms staffed at all times.
So right now, there are times when judges and courtrooms are going unguarded?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No, there have been, unfortunately, many times.
Betts told the judges today he wants 180 deputies. He only has about 160. The judges questioned why they see bailiffs working for Metrolink or special events during the day when courtrooms go unguarded. Betts explained that's because they're working secondary jobs once they finish their shifts in the courthouse. And their starting salaries are only $34,000.
And I stand with our sheriff 100% on his goal of improving salaries. But he must stand with us 100% on making building security job one.
The presiding judge put the sheriff's pledge to staff courtrooms in writing following that meeting. If it doesn't happen, Mason says the plan to hire private bailiffs is still on the table. For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Tonight, we're seeing new video that sheds new light on what happened in the moments after a St. Louis police officer crashed his department cruiser into a South City bar. The owner of Bar PM was arrested and is now facing misdemeanor charges. Today, his attorney released cell phone video showing the owner yelling and cursing at police, asking why they crashed into his building. When he refused to show officers his ID, he was put into handcuffs.
An officer only has the right to demand an ID if a person's driving a car or if the officer has probable cause to think that the person committed a crime. My client did nothing wrong. He shouldn't have been in handcuffs. The officer was escalating.
The attorney is asking for the charges to be dropped. The next court hearing is January 26th.
Tonight, we're searching for solutions in the Charm City.
Cities are parts of counties. Baltimore and St. Louis are not.
Now, an all too familiar problem is bringing Baltimore City and county together.
We were one of the first in the state and definitely in the nation to investigate just carjackings being our sole focus.
How crime is leading to collaboration to combat a regional problem.
Winds increase, temperatures tumble, and a dusting to an inch of snow for some. The Weather First team timing out warmer weather for next week, and even that comes with challenges.